What's up, peoples? What's up, peoples? Today we are going to talk about Project xCloud. All right, PlayStation VR, and we're going to talk about rumors of the PlayStation 5, along with, did Microsoft just buy Obsidian? But before we get too deep into that, yo, it's your boy MM2K back again with another one. Hey, yo. Hold on, let me check something real quick. Because, oh, no, we're good. They're talking about wrong settings and all this other stuff. What the heck are they talking about? I'm sorry, people. First and foremost, I want to deeply apologize because we were supposed to start earlier. But thanks to Microsoft and its shitty system updates that updates every 3 minutes like TRS said, like Java, we had some technical difficulties. So unfortunately, due to that, there will not be live calls. We will not be able to take live calls today because the system in which we had to do that has to update and it's going through some technical difficulties. But with that being said, let me introduce everybody. First and foremost, Dirt McGirt. That's his motherfucking name. Dirt Griggity. What's going on, Dirt?
What's up, man? What's up? Just happy to be here, man. Let's talk these gaming topics. I'm ready, sir.
Absolutely. All right, next up, the one, the only TRS Fusion Wolf. What's going on, TRS?
What's going on, man? Always happy to be here while I'm saving the world. Let's begin.
All right, that's what's up. And it is, of course, your boy. Hold on, now check this out. I've been working on one for myself. Your boy, MM2K, a.k.a. Radio Raheem, D, motherfucker D. Yo, oh man, we done lost our marbles. We're like running a half an hour late. Everything is just going crazy. You know what I'm saying? We're doing what we can, but we appreciate everybody that is watching right now. So as we go down the line, if everybody can do me a huge favor, that is on the panel, just let the listening public know what your gaming week consists of. And I'm gonna tweet this out. Who wants to start? Griggity?
Yeah. Just like last week, got me playing that Forza Horizon 4. Truly enjoying that. It is in autumn season right now, but tomorrow they will be changing the season to winter. I actually love that aspect about the game. And also, I've cranked open that Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So far, so good. The beginning is fire. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Word. All right. TRS, what's going on, bro?
Me, predominantly Destiny, of course, man. I can't stop. The new DLCs are too addictive for me. I can't stop. Did I mention I can't stop? I'm loving it, man. Can't stop.
All right. What's up?
Bad boy.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah, I'm getting warnings here. What are the warnings? It's saying that your settings are for wrong keyframe interval. What?
I get those all the time.
Yeah, I know. Every time I go to the bus stop, that's what it tells me. Wrong keyboard. What the hell are they talking about? Anyway, with that being said, we're gonna continue to rock on. Your boy MM2K, I've actually been doing some gaming, right? I've been playing, I've been playing God of War, playing some more God of War. I did a stream, put it out there. So for those of y'all that want to see your boy get down, check it out. The real Master was harassing me again. I'm gonna sue you.
I was gonna ask about all that.
Exactly. Yeah, he's an asshole. Yeah, so check that out. In addition to that, I also I did a little bit of Spider-Man. I didn't stream that. I did a little bit more Spider-Man, only like a half an hour more. I really didn't get too deep into that. But what I've also been doing is I got introduced into a big-time beta. I meant to talk to you guys about it before we started the stream, but we had our technical difficulties. But with that being said, yeah, man, I got introduced to a big-time service that's in beta. I can't speak of it because of the NDA, but man, I'm telling y'all, all I got to say is, for those of y'all that have issues with streaming, get over it. Just get over it.
Get over it.
Get over it.
Get over it, man.
It's coming. It's coming. There's nothing.
Everybody's doing it.
And there's nothing you can do.
And I have no problem with it, man. I'll wait till we talk about it, but yeah,
definitely. All right, so here's the thing, guys. We've already done our intros and everything. I think can somebody listen to the podcast real quick, just make sure everything's coming through okay. It's giving me some crazy signals.
Okay, hold on. I'm about to mute it so y'all can talk.
Okay.
The message tells me the link is coming, but it never comes.
Oh, that sounds like a personal problem, G.
Yeah, I need a doctor.
You the doctor. Oh man. So let's get into these topics. Well then, you know what?
It sounds good to me, sir.
It sounds good to you. All right,
Yep.
then we're good. All right, so let's dig into these topics because there's a lot, man. There's a lot. But you know what? Before we get into these topics, see, this is what I like to do to the panel of Scram Punks. I like to throw them a curveball. And because Microsoft has aggravated me with this bullshit update and their bullshit Windows, I'm going to aggravate the panel, okay? So Griggity.
Oh, shit.
You've been dropping some videos, bro. Some hot videos. And while I'm still tweeting this out to everybody, catching up on lost time, can you talk about the videos you've done since the last Scram Punks, man? Just so, because we want people to follow your content like I do, man. I really enjoy it. Can you fill the folks in on that, bro?
Oh, of course, man. I did a few videos. I did one video about my top 5 most overrated games this generation.
Yeah.
Got a few unsubs after that one. And it's kind of crazy, man. It's just my opinion, obviously, and some PlayStation exclusive.
Okay.
And I saw Moss in the comments kind of going back and forth with the guy, but it's crazy, man. Yeah, I just been, and I did a video today that things that I've been noticing in the community on the crime side of YouTube, this community, there's been some quote unquote, I call it fake love.
Yeah.
That these guys are so concerned. I just want Xbox to do better. Now, I saw guys said this for months in different podcasts, on different shows, on Twitter. I just want Xbox to do better. I just want Xbox to get more studios. Then I'm noticing that they're doing these things now.
Yeah.
And they're bashing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, they're going to ruin these studios. Like, hold on. Weren't you the same guy that said you want them to get more studios? Now you're saying that they have more studios. They're going to ruin these studios. Or I'm also saying this. Yeah, but that don't mean shit without games. Duh. What the?
Exactly. Like
what the? They have so the studios just going to what? What are they going to do? Nothing. I'm just saying, man, there's a lot of stuff that's really pissing me off. And, I try not to get involved in the console war stuff too often. Obviously, I'm an Xbox fan, but I'm not a blind Xbox fan. And we all know Xbox problems.
Yeah.
But when you see them trying to correct some of their biggest problem, which is obviously their first party, and they're still bashing it, okay. And they're asking us, why are we happy? Why aren't we happy? If your favorite sports team has a nice draft, aren't you going to be a little excited? I mean, we don't know if they're going to be great. We don't know.
Yeah. But it's a step in the right direction.
It's a step in the right direction, man.
I like that analogy, Dirk. Yeah, if your favorite team, if they were like 0-16 last year and they got them a couple of good drafts, I'm not, and I'm no way in shape form comparing Xbox's place or Xbox's services to an 0-16 football team. I just don't think they were competing to the best of their ability, and they did so willingly because they were gearing themselves in a whole different path. With that being said, it's like you said, you want to see them make steps in the right direction. Everything that these fanboys said that are actually, let's be honest, they're across the street. All the stuff that these fanboys said that they wanted them to do, they're doing, and as they doing them, they're like, well, but even though you did what I told you to, it ain't gonna be good enough. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, exactly. So it's crazy, man.
And I legitimately had some beef. Now, sometimes that I go over the top, yes, because I want to make sure that you're paying attention. That's what I do. But nevertheless, I had some legitimate beefs because I had some specific things I was looking for. We're going to get more into that, but the possible pickup of Obsidian, I mean, they said it's pretty much done, but but I'm just, trying to keep it official because officially Microsoft hasn't said anything or Xbox hasn't said anything. the potential pickup there of Obsidian is a big deal. It's a big effing deal. Period.
Yeah, man.
And that's something in the right direction because gamers like me, Griggity, and TRS, we like the RPG games and Obsidian, Fallout New Vegas. Me and TRS was just talking about that last week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if they own them, that's the big.
Hey, shout out to Post Up because Post Up said something. I believe it's one of you guys' multiplayer podcasts, like a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. He said it's crazy how people love Ninja Theory, Obsidian, and some of these other development teams, but once Microsoft bought them, they're questioning. Oh, Ninja Theory really ain't that good. Exactly. Obsidian, what have they done? You know, come on, man. Yep. It's bullshit.
Yep. Hey, Neverland in the chat. Neverland spreading his love. He says, "What's good?" And the PlayStation keeps winning. And then also,
don't start your shit, Neverland.
The homie Banghouse says, MM2K and Dirt, the lead writer of Fallout New Vegas, now works with Guerrilla Games for the Horizon franchise. Here's the thing.
Yada yada yada.
Obsidian isn't great because of. I will get into that, but Obsidian is great not because of the writers that they have, because they brought in great writers for their other projects. It's their development work. So but we'll get into that. With that being said, let's look at these topics because there's so much here, man. I don't. Let's start off like
Moss.
Yep.
Moss, can I say one? I'm sorry, cuz can I say one quick thing to the Bang House before we get started?
Go ahead, bro.
Hey, check this out. Uncharted lead right and left, and it turned out pretty well too, right? So shut that foolishness up.
TRS, what are your thoughts on this before? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I know you, TRS, your motto is just, I want to play great games. So you don't really care about this shit, but what's your thoughts, man?
As far as Microsoft having different companies, like different producers?
I know we don't really get into the fanboy war here, but where we talk, the fact that we have people that are PlayStation fans that are like, Microsoft's problem is they don't have this, and then Microsoft gets that. Okay, well, Microsoft don't have that, and then they go get that. Now Microsoft don't have studios, and they pick up Obsidian, which is a big effing deal, and now they're saying, well, Obsidian was subpar anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It's like the perpetuous cycle. It's like the dog that has the stick with the carrot dangling from it or the piece of meat dangling from it, and he's running after it forever. It's like, is there a point? Do these people from the other side of the console war have any standing in your mind?
I think that certain portions of it do, but it's like a general idea that different sides do with every genre of this kind of argument, whether it's games, sports, whatever. Mm-hmm. There's always going to be some you have to satisfy me. Mm-hmm. Oh, did you satisfy me? Well, then now satisfy me. You know what I mean? It's always like that, no matter what the subject is. So it's normal for me to see it, but there's a part of me that says, yeah, they may have some points, but because they're so emotion over logic about it, they may never get to those points. So it's a debacle of just rambling, pretty much, because they'll never get to the actual intellectual part of it and explain why. What's your problem?
Yeah,
what's your problem?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll never get to that. They'll just say, there's a problem. 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 You know what I mean? They'll never get to, well, what is the problem? It's like you feel like you're married to these people. Yep. You know what I mean? So, Yep. So. And it's that time of the month.
Messing. No, let me stop. So, it is what it is, and we understand what it's all about. It's like I said, it's that perpetual cycle, and we'll never reach your standards. It's it's your way of trying to seem like that you're unbiased, but you're biased, and that's okay. Right. Like I'm biased too. Like I don't like Naughty Dog. I don't like them, but because I am
something good.
Say that again.
Didn't they do something good? Was it back in the early 90s or something?
No, they're doing something
Crash?
good. They're doing something good
now.
now.
Was it Crash?
See, now, I love Naughty Dog. I absolutely love love them.
No, truth be told, they're doing something good now. They're not dropping anything. So anyway, I'm just look, man. I got into it with this cat earlier today. when Baron, the homie, Lack Laren, when he said, one got to go. You know what I'm saying? One franchise got to go. And he had Uncharted, BioShock, Legend of Zelda, and he had some Metroid out there. And of course, I said Uncharted can go. And, you know, of course, that got people worked up. And this one cat just kept going back and forth with me. And I was like, I don't like Uncharted because I'm not a story gamer. Like, there's gamers out there that love story. I'm pretty much about the action. I can make my own story in my gameplay. That's just how I am. You know, I come from the era where, you know, there were no screenwriters. You know, Ron Howard didn't stop making Star Wars to go make a game. You know what I mean? Right. Like, there wasn't. So, you know, the stories were all shit back in the day, except for the RPGs. You know, what the fuck? Exactly. What is Mario? A plumber that goes through pipes and saves the princess Peach from a goddamn hopping dragon? Come on, man.
Every game.
Goddamn, you know, you would have the SEC trying to shut some shit like that down if it was a real drama talking about, you know, this is a danger to kids. You know what I mean? So, like, look, I don't care about story, and that's okay. There are gamers that do care about story. I am not the tell all be all for gaming. I'm not mad at you guys for liking that stuff. I just don't. So it is what it is. The Bang House says people just fear Microsoft's track record with studios and dirt. Naughty Dog has talent still around, going back to Crash Team Racing, but I never said Obsidian wasn't a great pickup. Fair enough. Okay. He said, okay. All right. Let's hop into this. Bang House is ready. Yo, Bang House was coming at me on Twitter. It's like, Moss, you are reaching. Yo. I love it. I love the passion. You know, it gets me excited. All right. Yeah, man. Okay, which topic we gonna go over first? All right, let's keep drumming up the shit. Okay. UK charts last week. Forza is ranked higher than Spider-Man in the UK. This is what, as a matter of fact, this is what Bang House was coming after your boy at. Hey, Bang House, I saved this one just for you, bro. But look. Forza was ranked, I think, a spot higher. I think Forza's number 3. FIFA's number 1. I can't remember what's number 2. I think it might be Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah, I think it's that was.
Forza's 3 and Spider-Man's 4. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I am not saying that Forza is going to beat Spider-Man for the entire month. No, I don't believe that in a heartbeat. Anything's possible, but I don't believe that. But not saying that it wouldn't deserve to rank high or whatever. I'm just saying, you know, it's Spider-Man. With that being said, with all the naysayers that said this is just a racing game, it's a niche game. And again, I'm not attacking the PlayStation people because I said the same thing. Mm-hmm. How amazing is it, or how eye-opening or eye-popping is it to see that it could even pierce the great Spider-Man? This is an exclusive. This isn't, you know, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, at least you could say, well, you know what, that's on multiple systems. But Forza is just on the Xbox ecosystem. And not a lot of people care about the Xbox ecosystem, right? So with this, you know, beating Spider-Man, that it says something. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? We'll start with you, TRS. What do you think?
You know what? All I can say is that as far as it really depends on categories. I mean, people have been talking about Forza a lot, man, like crazy. People at work and whatnot. And I think it's just basically the kind of the majority of the people that like that kind of game as opposed to the majority who like Spider-Man. It's going to go back and forth, in my opinion. I mean, me personally, I would be leaning more towards Spider-Man because I'm not really into the race car thing unless the car has gadgets or something like that, like some James Bond stuff. Some spy hunter shit. Yeah, some spy hunter or something like that. But I can kind of understand the different genres because the last thing you'll ever see me on is a football game, and people damn near kill themselves for football games as much as they do for Nikes. So I think it just depends on that time, the time of the era. It's going to go back and forth. Ultimately, I think Spider-Man might take it, but then again, I don't know how many people are going to jump on Forza like that. Most of my friends are on it, and I don't play it. And I don't play it, and I have it on my hard drive. Yeah. Just because it was free. Yeah. Just
yeah, because it came with Game Pass. Yep.
Yeah, Fusion Wolf likes free. Yeah. That's my friend.
Frisian Wolf.
Yeah, Frisian wolf.
What about you, TRS? I mean, damn. No, you just got done talking. Shut up, TRS. What about
Now,
you?
let me say it again. No, go ahead.
What about you, Griggity? What's your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, hey man, I think that's pretty cool. One, it's not really a surprise because one, Spider-Man has been out for a month now, and UK, they love racing games. They absolutely love racing games, and you know what? Forza Horizon 4 is a very good, high quality game. So hopefully this shows Microsoft, you make a good, high quality game, very good, high quality game like this game, and maybe people will pay attention no matter the genre. But yeah, man, it's a great game. I'm not sure if it's going to outsell Spider-Man for the whole month. And I know people want to say, oh, it's Game Pass. Yeah, I'm sure Microsoft is okay with that because that's why they have Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I think it just shows how good the game is. And me as a guy that's not really a racing game fan, Forza Horizon, that's really not really until Forza Horizon series, man. This Forza Horizon just kind of grabbed me. This generation, I didn't really play the first one until they became backwards compatible. Man, something about Forza Horizon, I absolutely love this game, man. And it's a good game.
Yeah.
You know what? That kind of reminds me of. Sorry, I didn't mean. Were you going to say something?
No. I was just gonna.
No, I was going to say what he just said. Kind of reminds me of back. Oh, I'm about to show my age. It reminds me of back in the '80s when, like, of course, I'm into like back in those days. It was Contra. It was stuff like that. 2D scrollers and things like that. Double Dragon, all that stuff. And I had absolutely no interest in any racing games at all. But for some bizarre reason, Outrun and Power Drift took my soul, and I could not stop playing those two games. I loved them.
Exactly.
I used to love Outrun, man.
Exactly.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of a game that was like that back in the day. Because we are a bunch of old geezers that need our diapers changed right about now. You know what? I'll say this. I'm not a big boxing game person. Ring King back in the day did that for me. But
I could not stop.
When Fight Night came out recently, not the latest version, but the original Fight Nights came out, woo! Man,
that was sweet.
Yeah, it was like it was arcadey enough, but it had enough simulation in it to where it felt good. And I think it was Fight Night Round 2 that was my favorite. But with that being said, all right, enough of that, man, because we got a lot to cover. All right, so we talked about that. CD Projekt Red. Before we get to the juicy stuff, CD Projekt Red is hiring help, multiplayer, man.
Yep. Right.
Yeah, man. We think Cyberpunk is going to get some multiplayer built into it, man. What's up with that?
I thought that was just rumor has it type thing, but it grabbed my interest.
Yeah, man. So what do we think that Cyberpunk even needs multiplayer? And what are your general thoughts about this overall? Let's start with Griggity.
Hey, man, the more the merrier for me because obviously they're known as a single player 80, 90 hour game type of studio, right? But why not, get, they'll focus on the single player part, I'm sorry. And they hire another team to do some multiplayer. I'm fine with it, man. I might like the multiplayer, might not like it, but more content is good for me. Yeah. It sounds good to me. So yeah, I'm cool with it, man.
That's what's up. What's your thoughts, TRS?
I've never really understood why people have problems with that. Who doesn't want that option? You know what I mean? When you kind of invest in that game, it's like it reminds me of like with Far Cry. Far Cry, of course, is like basically one player type thing. But the fact that you can hire somebody to come in and help you out and guide them around, that's pretty tight. I think that's cool.
A little co-op. Yeah,
a little co-op. I think co-op is cool. Online, like multiplayer online, like a Destiny kind of thing or a Elder Scrolls kind of thing. Maybe that might be a little too much. But co-op, I can feel that on just about any game, in my opinion. Just the option.
Yeah.
So I'm with that.
Yeah. Me personally, I don't know. I'm just saying, bro. You know me. TRS swears he thinks the reason why he's laughing is because he thinks I'm a liar. This dude swears that I love multiplayer, and every time I tell him, he's like, "Nah, man, you're a fucking liar." I'm telling him I don't like multiplayer that much. There's only like maybe a handful of games that I really enjoyed the multiplayer of. And I mean, and that's I don't know why I'm like that. I just am. I am what I am. But the homies. All right, we got some of the they worked up in the chat today, boy. The homie Banghouse. Let me get to your comment here, bro. Banghouse says, my simple point was that Forza is like MLB, a yearly racing. Racer racing is big in UK, but this is the 5th week of Spider-Man, and it's still top 5 in every country. Xbox fans trash MLB, but it's the same as Forza. I feel you, Banghouse. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying it's not you particularly, Banghouse. I wasn't directing it towards you. I think you're a PlayStation fan, but I think you're fair. What I'm saying is there were people out there. Gregory knows what I'm talking about. Forza, that's dog shit. That ain't gonna place nowhere. Spider-Man's gonna piss all over that and not even tweet it up. You know what I'm saying? And now, them same people, when we approached them, like, hold on, Chief. Like, I thought that, Forza was gonna get pissed on and nobody was gonna clean it up. Well, I mean, it's because it got 4 wheels, and anything with 4 wheels attracts your attention for 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid as shit. So that comment wasn't made to just like talk shit. It was made to say, for those that were originally talking shit, what's the deal? Can you explain this? You know what I'm talking about, Griggity, right?
Hell yeah, I know. I know.
So yeah, but that's what I was talking about there. Banghouse also says the multiplayer sounds good for Cyberpunk first person view. Yeah, absolutely, that would be the shit. And if they can get that working, they're working with the same people that did Dying Light. I don't know how big this is going to be because Dying Light just released their version of Battle Royale. And I haven't played it, but from what I hear, it's dog shit. So I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know, man. We the jury's still out on that one, but Dying Light, it's a good company. I forgot the name of the company, but they're a good company.
Shit. Yeah, I forgot them. Yeah, I forgot the name too.
Techland.
Techland. Yeah.
Techland, yeah.
I think that's it. Yep. And homie Neverland says MM2K Guerrilla Games got the Rainbow Six Siege multiplayer dance, and they gonna have them shooting robots against walls and jumping up. Yeah. And you know what? What kills me? I don't know if you played it, TRS, but Horizon Zero Dawn, when the robots detect you and they jump in the air like on some spooky shit, it reminds me of the old 1980s Toyota commercials. You know where they used to Toyota, they used to jump and clap their feet like little baby seals on the side, man.
Yeah,
come on, man. Like, Guerrilla Games is a very technologically astounding company. The tech that they used, even with the PlayStation 3, to get games like Killzone looking the way that they did via the cell processor when everybody was having the hardest time, shows how smart and how talented they are. I just don't like the games that they make. The only game that I liked from Guerrilla Games was Killzone 1 on the original PlayStation 2. I love that game. That's it. What Guerrilla Games should do is they should create an engine that's going to be used by all of Microsoft's, Sony's first proprietary, users. They should sell it to people like Kojima, like they have been, and they should continue to up the ante on that engine, the Decima engine. If they focus more on that instead of making these shitty games that are just fanboy banter, then Sony could super kill the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you would shut people like me up because you would then have technology out there that nobody can touch at all. Like their games look great. They're smooth, but the gameplay is like shallow. You know what I mean? And if they continue to work on that and produce more options and more assets within their engine, they could probably help that with some of that's symptomatic in a lot of PlayStation games, except for God of War. Hey, yo, Santa Monica, they should work. Guerrilla should work with Santa Monica.
Right.
And enhance that engine. Because whatever Santa Monica, I guess you got to be told we're going to close your studio down again. I don't know.
Right.
Cool.
Hey, yo, they killed it. Neverland says, Horizon Zero Dawn second to go to war. Man, get out of here, man. Stop, Neverland. Stop, man. You the mod of the year, but stop. All right. So let me see here. Next topic, man. Okay, now we're going to get to the kit and caboodle. All right, so this is what I'm going to do here. Because I know Griggity was waiting for me to do this. And, you know, Griggity might say, F you, MM2K, I'm not doing the podcast no more after this one. But we got to talk about this. Griggity, I'm sorry, man. We got to talk about this, bro. That way we can focus on nothing but positive on the rest of the show.
Let's get out the way, huh?
Let's get out the way, bro. Xbox was caught lying, man. They was caught lying red-handed. And I wish I could. I was wanted to set up the studio, but the studio was acting up because we could play it. Here, what it was is they were caught lying red-handed over Crackdown 3. So just to provide a backdrop, recently Aaron Greensberg came out and said, "Hey, y'all talking about?" Oh no. It was recently noticed that on some online retailers that the release date for Crackdown 3 was pushed back from the 22nd. It was listed as the 28th instead of the 22nd, right? Mm-hmm. Aaron Greensberg, you know, he's hella popular, you know what I'm saying, in the community. Xbox community comes on and he says, "No, man, chill, relax. Look, here's the deal, y'all.
Relax.
We never said that it was coming out on the 22nd. We just said February. Y'all need to go make y'all peanut butter and ham sandwich. Chill the fuck out." This was, you know, Aaron Greensberg, you know, with his Cuphead sneakers on, right? So people was like, whoa, hold on, Chief. The authentic Xbox site, or Xbox Twitter account, came out and said, son, that Crackdown was releasing February 22nd, 2019. What are you talking about, son? And Aaron Greensberg and everybody came back and said, whoa. You got to follow my words specifically. I said none of the execs, none of us, none of the bigwigs. We've never said it was coming out on the 28th. Period. I have nothing else further to say that all of a sudden the tweet disappears. Right? So we're in the community, we're having this conversation, okay? And I gotta give kudos where kudos is done. If anybody follows your boy MM2K, the reason why this is a big deal is because anybody that follows your boy MM2K on Twitter, y'all know I single out people and I go after them. That's just what I do. I have a miserable life. Misery loves company. Okay. One of those people that have been targeted is my man Uptown Soul. Okay, he's a big PlayStation enthusiast.
Oh my God,
Pony.
And he makes it his business multiple times a day. Like Crap Gamer got that pro Xbox propaganda. Uptown Soul is there to make it balance. He's the negative to Crap's positive. You know what I'm saying? But this time I had to give it up to Uptown Soul, man. Uptown Soul caught Aaron Greensberg in the lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. It was a lie. Mm-hmm. And showed everybody how he was able to pull up the original tweet. Homie Kid Smooth was like, no, that wasn't a lie because none of the execs ever said it. It was a minimum wage worker. It was
It was the janitor.
Yeah, it was the janitor. The janitor got a whole, he hijacked Redman with the mop hand. With ammonia. He threatened everybody with ammonia, and got a hold of the Twitter account and tweeted that day by accident. He's only making $5.95 and he gets half a box of Cracker Jacks. He did it out of rage. So after Kid Smooth is saying that, my home, I forgot his name. Damn it. Detail 9 or something like that. He hits up MM2K, says, MM2K, I want you to watch this video, bro. Right here at the Giant Bomb interview during E3, the annual Giant Bomb interview, Phil specifically said that Crackdown was coming out on the same date that Days Gone and 6 other games, like Anthem or whatever, which is the 22nd.
I saw that, with my own 2 eyes.
So, all right, I know I've gone on long and long enough. Here's my question to the panel and anybody in the chat. With all the good news that we're about to talk about for Microsoft and all of the mindshare rebuilding that they're apparently doing, we're talking about Project xCloud and what they're going to talk about at the XO event, the fact that they're having an XO event. Is this a good look to do this? Because this doesn't seem straightforward. Or is it like the illustrious Kid Smooth said that your boy is going over the top? That I just hate Phil's life? You know? I hate him and the back of Forrest Whitaker's neck. That I just hate everything. Is your boy MM2K over the top, or am I making a valid point that, hey, within light of all of this good news, let's be transparent, y'all. Y'all made a mistake. Something had to be pushed back. Just say, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? But say, we got our own set of greatness coming. What are your thoughts? I'm going to start with Griggity.
Well, the evidence is overwhelming here, and they lied their ass off. Now, now the consequences probably shouldn't be much. You know, they, like you said, they should have came out and said, well, yeah, that was our initial date, and we decided to change it until a date to be determined. You know, maybe they should have said that, but because of all the backlash about Crackdown, maybe they didn't want to say anything about moving any date. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they lied about it. You know, yeah, they did. So yeah. I don't think you're overreacting at all, sir.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm glad I got one vote, but Griggity's gonna whoop my ass after the show.
yeah, I'll call you later on though.
Come to Redmond,
man. Come to Redmond.
Open the door.
Yeah, don't go to sleep, nigga.
Open the door. I'm on your porch.
Hey, yo, TRS. What's your thoughts on this, man?
I may be a wrong person to answer this, but I actually do agree with Griggity on that. I don't think it should be too harsh because I'm a big bot. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, when I hear stuff like that, it makes me wonder, as far as even our good news that we have, how much of it is genuine? Yeah. You know what I mean? I get very suspect. It starts to feel very suspect. But I understand if they made a mistake, they made a mistake. They just need to correct it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem like they're trying to correct it. They're just kind of like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And in a professional organization like that, at that level,
yes,
surely there would have been some kind of marketing tactic to clean that up. Yes. Because until that happens, you know, as much of a bot as I am, in the back of my mind, I'm still like, well, what else is false about the rest of the good news?
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I'll just stay posted, and I'm still Xbox forever. Yep.
Any more thoughts before I add my finishing touches to this Griggity? Because if you're going to whoop my ass, I want to make it good.
No, you good. Go ahead.
All right, but here, okay, everybody has valid points that, yes, I agree. As bad as this is, I don't think that it overwrites the goodness that has happened just in this week alone. I don't think so.
Yeah.
You know, so no, I'm not on that bandwagon. But here's the problem, and here's why I am making this such a big fucking deal. Is because I am tired of Microsoft being scared of its own fucking shadow. You know what I'm saying? Yoshida and them make mistakes every day. They said that the reason why they weren't doing crossplay originally is because they were trying to beat Wu-Tang and save the kids, okay? And then they came out and then they said, you know what? We're doing this for our business investors, you know? And then they said, we're not going to do it because PlayStation is the best place to play, and we don't want everybody to suffer from that garbage anywhere else on any other console. Then 5 minutes later, guess what? They do crossplay. If you can do that rope-a-dope and still make it and still survive the next day and look at yourself in the mirror, Microsoft
deserves a rope-a-dope.
You could get up in the morning and say, you know what? We prematurely acted on a date when we shouldn't have. Even Phil has done it. Phil made a mistake because even in that interview, Phil was trying to backtrack. Phil was like, but we didn't realize that we were running into the gauntlet. He said it himself. So he did. So you got. So they could have said we messed up the messaging. We apologize deeply, but February 28th is your date. That's all. And then move on. But anyway, Project xCloud. When you try to do this sloppy ass stealth shit, it looks like a buggy version of Fallout 3. You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to be stealthy,
it's suspect. It looks suspect.
It looks too suspect. Come on. And even though this case wasn't that bad, I get where Kid Smooth was coming from. This case wasn't that bad. When you do have a case where it really takes you to show some balls and do the right thing, I don't want you motherfuckers jumping out of the window over your own shadow again. So I'm making it a big deal now. Stop it. Phil, Aaron, I know y'all paying attention. I'm sorry. I know we swearing or whatever, and that's unprofessional. I get that. But y'all need to do the right thing. Get out there. We're sorry. We messed up the messaging. We're going to do better. We're trying to do better. We got Project xCloud coming. We told y'all we buying more studios. The future is bright. We don't want this little blip in the radar to be a representation of what we're bringing forward to you. So we apologize. Crackdown is officially coming out around the 28th. Or we don't have a date yet, but February. End of story. That's done, right? It's over.
Right.
It's over.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Don't make it seem like it's a I already got your money move.
Yeah.
That's not good.
It's like if you jaywalk, right? And you see a cop coming down the street, and then you start yelling, "Oh shit!" And then you just start running full blast.
For no reason.
Yeah. And then you're like,
they're gonna chase you.
Exactly. Stop. Just stop doing this. Just stop, okay? What that said, let's go to the chat, man. Let's go to the chat. Chat's like, man, MM2K, what's wrong with you, bro? Relax, man. It's gonna be all right. Okay.
PlayStation forever, man. What's going on?
Yeah. Banghouse says all Sony devs compete with each other. Literally, I can't wait for Xbox to do that also. Yeah. Yep. And Neverland said facts, Banghouse. And then Banghouse also said they did a sneak delay. He think he's slick. Laugh out loud. He guilty. Banghouse said he guilty. Lock him up and build the wall. Oh shit. Yo, y'all's crazy out here, man. But no, I mean, look, man. Nobody's perfect. You know, nobody, and I get that. It's just don't just stop the slick. Just stop the foolery, okay? All right, guys. Now it's time.
We all make mistakes. Even big global places like that, big corporate places like that. But don't do like a hood rat and have no conviction. Admit that you're capable of mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you might learn from it, so you don't keep doing it again. The hood rat will keep denying it and keep doing it again.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't want that with our games.
Deny.
We don't want that.
Yeah, we don't want that. Thank you. Absolutely. So now let's get to the meat and potatoes, y'all. Let's start with the big papa. The rumors that Xbox is possibly buying Obsidian. I gotta get everybody's thoughts on that. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, Obsidian has made a shitload of games. I'm just gonna try to pull up their games that they've made while I'm talking, but Obsidian has made a shitload of games. They came on the scene with a bunch of stuff, right? And I first recognized them with Alpha Protocol, but I didn't realize that they were responsible for, and I got a list of them right now. So here goes all of the games that Obsidian has done.
Give me the one I want to hear.
They've done Fallout New Vegas.
Woo!
They've done Pillars of Eternity.
Okay, I'm done.
That's all he need, yeah.
That's it. Get
I'm done.
Wipe off the knuckles. You know what I'm saying? The homie D Almighty said I've been lurking in the chat. Pillars of Eternity 2, 2018. Tyranny, 2016. I got Tyranny, and what was the other game I got on Steam? Oh my. Obsidian's the hold on, let me keep going. All right, Knights of the Old Republic 2. I didn't know that was Obsidian working on that.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Knights of the Old Republic 2. Yep.
Okay. Woo!
The stick of
That's another one. Okay.
South Park: The Stick of Truth, which is critically acclaimed. Skyforge, 2015.
Okay.
Alpha Protocol. That's when I first recognized the name. Neverwinter Nights 2. Dungeon Siege 3, which was that was a big one.
Wow.
Too. Armored Warfare. Let me see. Wasteland 2 was Obsidian. Did Obsidian do that? No, I don't think Obsidian did Wasteland 2. Hold on. Let me see here. Developers. Oh shit! Obsidian did Wasteland 2. Oh man, get the fuck out of here. They also made a game called Obsidian. Fallout, the New Vegas Art World. They worked on that. So Obsidian has. Damn, I didn't know they did Wasteland 2. Wasteland 2 is the shit.
Do they have multiple studios? Because it seems like the kind of company that like makes a bunch of crap and then all of a sudden a strawberry cheesecake falls out their ass. It's like what? What is that?
What it is Obsidian started off small, and then they've grown over time, and they became a big name studio. They kind of got jerked by Bethesda. I look. Me personally, I'm gonna get my ass whooped by TRS too. Like whatever's left, TRS is going to cold stomp me out after Griggity's done. You know that TRS that Obsidian was supposed to get a bonus if Fallout New Vegas hit 90 on the Metacritic. And they missed it by 1 point. They hit 89. And remember, last week we blamed it on Dean Takahashi. Dean Takahashi didn't give him that extra point with his Cuphead bullshit. No.
It was Dean.
Yeah, big up to Dean. No, big up to Dean. Hopefully we can get him on the show one day.
Those shirts are coming out soon, y'all. It was Dean.
It was Dean.
those shirts are coming out.
But they got jerked on that bonus. They were supposed to get a big bonus, so that kind of hurt them. Then, they started making some games or whatever, and they start, building their names or whatever. And then they got into this deal with Microsoft, the old regime, Donnie D and them. And they were supposed to make this big old game. I think it was called Storm Chasers or Stormlands or something like that.
Yeah, it was something. It was something big.
Was that online or something? Big online game?
Yeah. It was like this big it was like this big crazy game. It was like Destiny before Destiny or something like that.
Okay.
And then Microsoft canceled that because I got my own theory about that. Donnie D had a lot of ambition, but not enough guardrails. That's why Connect became the monstrosity that it was, and I think this game was too. And then they canceled the game, so that put them in dire straits. So then they had to go to Kickstarter, to start Pillars of Eternity, and it worked out for them. And this is all laid out in the book of my life, Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, right? So. When you read that, you get the sense that they're like, you know what? Fuck the corporate bigwigs. We're not dealing with them anymore. They're full of shit. We'll go to Kickstarter. We'll get our little bit of money. We'll create our top high games that are like badass, like kick ass. You know what I'm saying? And I love games like that, like Diablo, even the Van Helsing games. Those games are the shit. You know what I'm saying? Obsidian made the hellified games like that. Microsoft apparently has approached them and said, and I'm imagining the negotiations was like, look, we are not the Microsoft, the old. This is the new Microsoft. We're gonna let y'all do y'all thing. You know what I'm saying? All we want you to do is put your quality product under our umbrella. And my thought says, bring it on, bring the shit.
Right.
Like the Warrior, like we were talking about the Ultimate Warrior earlier. Bring that shit, Hogan. Just bring it.
Hulk Hogan.
Bring us some shit, Hogan. So, with that said, we're going to start with Griggity now. Griggity, how big of a deal is this for you? Is this something that Microsoft needed, or do you think that it's just, it's a wait-and-see game? What's your thoughts?
You know what? You might want to fight me after this, but I'm not a big Fallout guy.
All right, good night, folks. We'll see you later.
So I never
till next week.
New Vegas.
No, that's cool. But that's but what your thoughts of it?
From what I hear, their resume is pretty impressive with the games that they made over the years. Mm-hmm. The only one I really played was Stick of Truth, and I love that. I did. It was pretty basic, but I love that one. I never got a chance to play Alpha Protocol.
Okay.
Because I heard it was average or below average.
Yeah.
But I do remember that game. But yeah, man, look, man, I don't know what kind of game they're going to make. Whether it's going to be a AAA game or another over-the-top RPG strategy game, whatever they make. But another studio with a good resume is a positive, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They're going. They can't make all the studios can't make the same kind of game.
Exactly.
So this is going to be something different. I absolutely love it. I love it, man. Yeah, kudos to Microsoft.
It's all good news, man. There is absolutely no negative to this whatsoever. TRS, what are your thoughts?
I'm kind of drawn in between, man, because half of the games that you said they made, I didn't even know they made. I have to this date a mental scar from Obsidian. And maybe it's because I'm one of the only people that have played Alpha Protocol.
Okay.
Oh,
and
damn.
I recall basically wanting to kill myself after about 5 minutes of playing that game. And I could not stand that game, and I didn't want anything to do with Obsidian. But then, what kind of brought me back, to light was Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
Which had a slow drag, but once you get like closer to the middle of it, it's badass. I love it. But in the beginning, yeah, you're not really going to care for it. It feels like a generic Fallout 3 until you get further in it.
Yeah,
and it's like pretty awesome. Some of the other games you mentioned, I didn't know they made those. So I think that with the right team, it may be good for Microsoft. It may really be good. Something legendary might come out of that. Yeah. Maybe they might think of doing something for, God forbid, Halo. But do something. So maybe they can resurrect Halo, unless it's already been done. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that new one. So
yeah, man, that one's gonna be pretty big.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll give them a shot. I would give them a shot. I think that Microsoft should own something, as far as production company. They need something.
Yeah.
I'd be happy even if they had the group that created Vex for the what was the old system with the little lizard Vex. It was like the corniest game in the world. Vex the Gecko.
Gex. It was called Gex.
Gex. I'm sorry, I said Vex. I've been playing Destiny too long. But yeah. Even if they did that, I'm like, okay, maybe there's some new creativity. Maybe the original creators of Gex are dead and their kids are producing it now. I don't know. I think there's always a chance for something, and Microsoft should own something, some kind of company. They need help.
All right, the homie Banghouse puts a good one out there, yo. He puts a good one out there.
What'd he say?
What if, he says, how would y'all feel if Obsidian took over Fable? Fire, right? Remember, Playground Games is only a rumor. So, I mean, look, Playground Games is known for cars, okay? They do cars excellently, and then their shit looks good. But I think Banghouse is on to something. Like, Fable is only a rumor. Microsoft has never denied it or said anything. And what if Obsidian is either going to do Fable or they're going to help Playground do Fable? Maybe Playground is going to aesthetically build the world and make sure that everything is smooth. You know what I'm saying? 60 frames per second or whatever. And Obsidian is going to construct the gameplay mechanics. Who knows? That would be fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I would have no problems with that. Actually.
Yep.
But I would say that Jez Gordon said he heard 100% that Playgrounds is doing Fable. But like you said, maybe they can help,
Yeah.
I can see them helping. I can see them doing that.
They could probably help. You know what I mean? Like, Obsidian, their games have been smaller. I don't want to say small scale games, but they've been smaller scale games. Like, Pillars of Eternity, you can't really call that a AAA game. It's a great game, but it's like a AA game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm sorry. I live by a hospital, and they're flight vac and everybody's dying on the cusp of dying here. So excuse the helicopters.
All I heard was people screaming, man.
You didn't hear the rescue. You just heard the screams.
Yeah, it sounded close, man.
But no, man. That would be a dope idea. I think Banghouse is on to something. Magnetic Storm 25 says, I believe Gex was created by Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, it was. Crystal Dynamics. That's right.
You know what? I just drew a blank. Who the hell is Crystal Dynamics again?
They did a lot of games.
Warframe.
A lot, yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you. Thank you for bringing it up.
No. I'm sorry. That's not Crystal Dynamics. Tomb Raider. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what the hell? We're old, man. This is why it's called Scram Punks. You the old guys.
Crystal Dynamics.
We're old.
I'm sorry. Yeah. They did Tomb Raider. I think this one
mentioned that?
Did Warframe. Sorry.
Magnetic Storm said that.
And how old is he?
Oh yeah. Magnetic Storm.
Hey, you're right. Hey, damn, he might be our age, brother. He might be one of us.
Yep.
Yeah, they were by Crystal Dynamics. Y'all the people that's doing Tomb Raider now. You're absolutely right. Yep.
Old people matter too. All right.
Right.
So.
Yep.
Well, I think it's a plus. And shameless plug. Every other Saturday, the Triple B homie Nethals and I we're doing a show on Next Gen 720's Patreon. It's going to be this Saturday, where we're talking about the life as an Xbox enthusiast, and it's all Xbox news. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to come straight down the middle. We're going to be honest when things are good, and we're going to give it to Microsoft when things are bad. But this week, I mean, you can't help but have a positive week unless Microsoft does some more shiesty shit.
Within the next, and I hope they don't fuck up in the next couple of days.
Yeah, they please don't do that. So this is going to be a great show, and I think it's not too early. I'm gonna do it and fuck it. They'll just have to whoop. Everybody's whooping my ass too. So if this is too early, Z's just gonna have to whoop my ass too. Excuse me. We're gonna have Post Up. Post Up, the homie Post Up is going to be our special guest on that show. He's pro Xbox, so this is going to be an Xbox bonanza. So
nice.
Yeah,
I'm definitely tuning in, brother. I'm definitely tuning in.
Patreon. So look, it doesn't take supreme cream, just $1 and a dream. Okay, and I just took that from Biggie, and I fucked it all up. But anyway,
yeah, that didn't sound the same as what Biggie said.
Supreme cream. Supreme cream.
Supreme cream. Oh my.
Oh my.
Y'all know George Takei shit.
Yeah, George. Yeah, man.
Oh my.
Supreme cream, man. What'd you
Yeah, who else could that be?
What else would you do?
Hey man, listening to Stern, when I first heard that motherfucker do that, man, I lost my shit.
Hey man, you a Stern dude too?
Yeah, oh man.
Oh, I fucking love Stern,
yeah,
man.
I love Stern, man.
Like the show ain't as good as it used to be now. We older now,
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah.
that shit back in the day, oh man, that shit was great.
I used to work a weekend shift where we like open mail, and of course, I couldn't do that. We couldn't play Stern at work, but we had the coolest supervisor on the weekend. And we would all just be blasting Stern and cracking the fuck up the touchstone terrorists and shit and all
that. Oh my god, that was shit. Hey, I used to be a meter reader, right? In Detroit. So I'm going in people's backyards and shit in the hood. And without Stern, man, I wouldn't have made it. I'm telling you, man.
Oh yeah.
That shit was rough back in the day, man. I'm talking about in like the early 2000s, late 90s. Oh, it's crazy, man.
I love, but when George Takei, when he's in Stern, like, just go ahead and do it, man. Oh my! Like, oh shit!
Yes. And that laugh.
Exactly.
I love listening to him, man. Oh my god.
Oh man, yeah, we were old geezers, so the fuck what?
Yeah, we old, man.
So moving right along. But yes, it's a great thing, and again, it's not official yet, people. So I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Microsoft hasn't officially stated that they have Obsidian, but from some close sources, right, Griggity, we know some very close sources to us have said, and we can pretty much confirm. So
absolutely,
Post Up as well. We can confirm that what Post Up placed, Post Up placed on Twitter is accurate. It's pretty much a sealed deal.
Hey, plus Moss, your best friend, Jason, what's his name? Squire.
Oh yeah, my boy, Jason Schreider. Yeah,
he said, he's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
he said it's going to happen.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
Hey, look, Griggity, I'm acting like we were just shooting dice, and then Aaron Greensberg came up to us and said, "Hey, look, man, we're about to buy Obsidian." No, this all came from Jason Schreier.
Schreier,
yeah. Originally, big up to Jason Schreier, the author of the book of my life, Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. Pick it up. You have not lived life until you read that.
And he's usually pretty accurate.
Yeah, he's accurate. That's why Bethesda hates his ass. You know what I'm saying? They hate. Hey, yo, I don't know if y'all saw recently where, because Jason Schreier and Bethesda, they go back and forth. They call them all types of names. I think I can't remember what they call. They said some foul shit. Called him little crybaby baby or some shit like that. And Jason Schreier said that they're hurt, and all this other stuff. One of the developers or creative directors for Prey. What is it? Who's that makes Prey in the
the original?
Arcane.
Yeah. Okay, I think he's no longer with the company, or he's with the company, but Bethesda told him it's okay for him to talk to Jason. So instead of Jason saying, "Hey, we're sitting down with Arcane's," he says, "Finally released from the shackles of Bethesda and their silly PR." Man. I mean, it's because they go back. But yeah, Jason is usually on the money, and because he's on the money,
absolutely.
Bethesda loves to control their message. We were talking about that earlier in the DM. They love to control their message, everything about their product, and they don't like it. So if Jason Schreier says it, it and he's going to put his name on it, most likely, more than not, it's true. But what our sources did is after we heard that from Jason, our sources went out and dug out more and got some more information to validate what he said. So
right.
we didn't get that at the dice game. Not this time. All right. So anything else about the likely Obsidian purchase before we move on?
Nah.
Okay.
It feels like rolling dice. I'm game to see what happens.
Word. I'm excited again, man. I'm excited. Look, I've been giving Microsoft shit, but this is what I've come for. Shit like Knights of the Old Republic. You know what I'm saying? Shit for games that you weren't being brought to console anywhere else. That's what I'm here for. So, the purchase of Obsidian would fill that gap, and show someone like myself that they're serious.
Absolutely.
All right. Next on the list. It ain't all good Xbox news. PlayStation 5. Now, it wasn't enough for me when Yoshida came out and said, there's a PlayStation 5 coming. Who the hell didn't know that shit? You know what I'm saying? Right. But now there's been a leak that there's possibly a portable device that's going to be packaged with the PlayStation 5. Before we get into a little bit into the details, I want to ask the panel, what would you like this portable device to be? Because before I read the nooks and crannies, I was like, oh, that concept is dope. And it brought me back to a previous mindset of when they brought the PS Vita out. But I want to get the panel's mind state on what they would like to see packaged with the PlayStation 5 as a portable device. Because people are thinking this is their answer to the whole streaming thing. I guess we'll start with TRS. If Sony did package in a portable device, what would you like it to be?
As far as me, this might sound crazy, but as far as me, what system was that was out a few years back? It also had a portable device that attached to the main console, but when you took the portable device off, you could either play a smaller version of the game on the screen or use it as a joypad.
Oh, that's the Wii U.
Was that the Wii U?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, if it did something like that, I could see that. Or maybe even like contain more memory as well in it. If I see it do something like that, I can't really think of anything else that I'd be interested in. But that, like, take that out of the console, it saves all my games, and I can play like a smaller screen when I'm out or something like that. That would be pretty cool. Something like that. I know that sounded boring as shit.
No. You'll see that it's important that you said it just like that. Cause you'll see in a second, but go ahead.
Okay, I wanted to transform and then save the universe. That's okay. Is that better? Transform and make me omelets. That's what I wanted to do.
Is it going to be like the Switch? Like the rumors say, is it going to be a streaming device? I mean, did they say any of these things, or is it all speculation now?
It's speculation now. So before I go into the nooks and crannies, no cheating, Griggity. I want to know what you want it to be.
Oh, I want it to be.
Yeah.
Well, I want it to be, I guess, something similar to the Switch. Just something you can, dock or take it with you. Maybe a streaming device, but obviously have a higher fidelity than the Switch. Obviously a little bit more powerful. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I would want it to be.
So now the reason why I did it that way, because I'm just an asshole for one, and for two, I wanted to play Price is Right. I've always been a fan of Bob Barker ever since he was on Water. Was that Waterboy or no? Happy Gilmore when he beat
Happy Gilmore. Yeah.
That made him legend.
Yeah, that made him legend. Yeah. Hey, look, Bob Barker on Happy Gilmore was the equivalent of Wayne Brady on Chappelle's show.
Yeah. Yep.
Does Wayne Brady have to choke? Okay. Anyway, with that being said, I wanted to play Bob Barker and see who could be Price is Right, who could get the closest to what this speculation. And again, this is all speculation. We're just having fun here. But what the speculation is, and the speculation is, well, TRS was the closest. It's going to be. It sounds like it's going to be more like the Wii U than the Nintendo Switch, where it's all in-house. Like you can undock a tablet and take the tablet with you in-house. The tablet could also be used outside of the network, but you can only use it outside of the network for PlayStation Now. So, but then you got to additionally get the PlayStation Now service, which right now is $20, and you can't play, and it's mainly filled with PlayStation 3 games, none of which you can download or whatever. You have to stream them all there, which kind of sucks. So, you know.
Okay.
And it doesn't have the greatest latency and all of this stuff, but I'm pretty sure Sony is looking to increase that. So it's going to be, but see, even though TRS was right, I was more in the lines of you, Gregory. When I first heard this, I thought it was going to be a form of the Vita.
Right.
I thought it was going to be a form of the Vita that worked like a controller. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say something very controversial here because I'm just getting my ass kicked anyway. I thought that this was Sony's answer to the whole streaming thing. If they were to make the Vita a controller. You know what I'm saying? Like they would have a Vita controller that came in with the PlayStation 5. And this is the controversial part. I actually like that better as a console gamer than Microsoft's and Google streaming thing. Here's why. Now, hold on. And this is what I really want the panel to jump on. We're going to start with Griggity because I know he's ready to kick ass first. All right. The reason why I would prefer if Sony were to package in a Vita-like controller that you can use on the system, has a touchscreen, all of the stuff, and then when you want it to go, you just take it with you and just carry your game with you, is because it still dedicates you to buying the Sony hardware. Now, again, I get it. Companies have to grow in their market share, and that forces people to have to buy gaming hardware in order to play these games. And we're in a world where everything we want the walls torn down and the gates open and everybody's dancing like this is the sound of music and shit, right? Here's the problem. As if I'm a strict console gamer, one that doesn't fuck with PC, like my co-hosts, like TRS and Griggity, right?
Right.
This doesn't, the Xbox approach doesn't bode well for you guys because you got to look at it this way. Microsoft is going to make their service available everywhere. All right?
Right. Okay.
For third-party support, if you're a console-only guy, you're stuck to relying on third parties to make third-party games specific for the Xbox console. But if you're playing on your phone, your tablet, or your PC, you don't need Microsoft's. You could just have the service just to get Microsoft's exclusives, and it looks like they're going to crank out a lot of them. You can get your third-party games from better storefronts like Steam, GOG, the Google Play Store, Amazon, wherever. You see what I'm saying? So if you're a console gamer, if you're a third-party developer, and you're like, do I have to make this game that's strictly for the Xbox console? Is it even worth it if there's only 10 million saturation? Like out of the 210 billion, there's only 10 million consoles out here. Do I even want to waste my time? You know what I mean? Because I'm doing well everywhere else. I'm doing well on their streaming side of things. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing well on Google Plus, on Google Play. I'm doing well on Steam, on all these other phones and tablets. Why would I make a version and pay the royalty fees for a version with only 10 million saturation? Because Phil said it himself, the name of the game is they want to sell more software without having to pump out as much hardware. I released the Kotaku interview, that was sparked a lot of controversy, where Phil specifically said, I don't want to sell you a new console every year. I don't want to. I want you to just have minimum consoles out there, but a lot of software that you're buying on these consoles. So me, Griggity, and TRS, we all running over to Griggity's house and shit like that to play his Xbox, and we're all buying games for it. That's idealistically, if I'm going to have a console for Microsoft, that's their ideal thing. Because here's what people have to remember. Microsoft and Sony are two totally different companies. Sony is a manufacturing company at heart, right? They manufacture DVD players, all that other shit. So they have contracts with third-party people to manufacture parts for them, and they can get them cheap. Microsoft doesn't do that. So when they make a console, they're more likely to take a hit longer than Sony. So Sony would love to sell you a console over and over again because they're actually making money. Like Adam Boyd said last year, as of 2017, Sony is in the red. I mean, it's in the black with every console that they sell. Microsoft made no such statement. So What the reason why I like that model better, even though it doesn't sound like the model they're going to go with, is because it again forces the console company to have to rely heavily on supporting the console with third-party software. We know Microsoft is still going to drop consoles. My concern for the strictly console gamers is, what about that third-party software? What are you guys going to do to make sure that software comes your way? Now, with me saying all my hyperbole, I'm going to pass it over to Dirk Griggity, and I'm going to call the cops because I know he's going to fuck me up. Dirk.
No, I mean, no, I'm pretty sure they have some type of plan when it comes to third parties. Obviously, we don't know them yet, because even Phil mentioned something in that little video unveiling the a Project Cloud, whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. Like he said, what if you could play Halo? What if you could play Red Dead Redemption? So he said a first party game, then he said a third party game. So we just don't know the plan, but I'm definitely pretty sure they're going to have some type of plan for third party support. And, because maybe it's like, are you guys like going to be on board with this? Rockstar, what about you guys over here? Ubisoft, I don't know, man. I'm sure they got some type of plan.
Okay. TRS, what are your thoughts? Did you catch any of my bab? I went on.
Yeah, I actually did. I mean, what? Yeah. No, I actually did. I agree with Griggity to a degree, because I feel like this happens all the time. Like different things that everybody's saying that won't happen. Yeah. Kind of like that crossplay thing. Yeah. But eventually they're messing with you now while it's still fresh, and then as everything gets settled, then they start bringing those capabilities in to do that. And they might name it something else. Yep. It's kind of like do you remember when they? Well, I don't know if you remember when they absolutely said that there was going to be no backwards compatibility with the Xbox One, and then all of a sudden here comes Game Pass. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? Okay, so we didn't allow you to put your old games in the system, but here's Game Pass. Mm-hmm. It's always going to be always going to be something like that. They're not going to avoid any lucrative opportunities. I don't see that. I think it's going to come. It's going to become very possible. Maybe not now, but as time goes by and they start getting a little more hungry. That's how I feel.
And you know what else? Third party obviously is a big part of this community, and a big part of Nintendo. Well, I don't know about Nintendo, but Sony and Microsoft. They need third party. Third party need them. So I'm pretty sure Microsoft has been rolling out all this information about what they're doing, what they're like the whole streaming thing. I'm pretty sure they pretty much talked about this probably years ago, you know what I'm saying, to get everybody prepared for what's coming.
Big up to the homie Sam Walton, man. Sam, thank you for coming back to the channel. Sam asked a very good question. And then we got some more comments in the chat too. He says, is it more of a tablet or the next Vita? So Sam, from what I've read, it's more of a tablet. And I'm pretty sure Sony makes tablets too. So I imagine that this tablet primarily is going to be set up to work in-house as far as playing games that it streams from your PlayStation 5, right? It's only going to work in-network. As far as out-of-network, you're going to have to get PlayStation Now. And PlayStation Now would work out-of-network. I would prefer for it to be a Vita. I would prefer for it to be a Vita. And I would prefer for it to work this way. If I buy, let's just say I buy Uncharted 5. Okay, I'm just throwing a game out there. I'm playing Uncharted 5. My wife calls me and says, hey, we got to go, such and such, such and such. Okay, fine. Damn, all right. I take my controller / Vita with me, and I finish Uncharted 5 in the car. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would like. But then you got to keep all the other business models in line, the PlayStation Now and all of this stuff. Look, everybody's going to streaming. Okay, my PlayStation people that are out there in the chat and listening to this, and then listening to it, if you're listening to it on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever else you're listening to, if you're not listening live, I want you guys to understand this. This is the market. Okay, none of these companies are saints. Nobody is in this to satisfy you. There were people that said gaming, hey, they might have interest in gaming. They said, hey, gaming is a lucrative business. Let's get into it. They threw away the hat of we care about the consumers. That's why we're doing this. They threw that hat away once they became Fortune 500 companies and they're publicly traded. Once a company becomes publicly traded, you are no longer you're no longer number one. The investors are number one. You are simply a catalyst to the investors. You are to ensure the investors that if they invest their money in that company, they will get good kickback because you're buying their goods and services, and you're buying their goods and services either because they have a good gimmick or they may have a good product or a little bit of both. But you're not number one. The investor is number one. With that being said, success has to follow success in the market. Let's just say if Sony did have a pure heart of gold. If other gaming companies are streaming and they're making money off of streaming, guess what? Eventually Sony's going to have to follow suit because that's how the market is. The market matches you up against each other. It's a competitive thing. They match you up against each other and they say, okay, we don't care how much money you make. How much money are you making in comparison to everybody else doing the same thing that you're doing? And the market forces you to do as well as everybody else around you, or your value drops. If your value drops, you could make $1 billion on Monday. If by Tuesday your stock went from $25 to 25 cents, you're closing your doors on Wednesday, period. Sorry, it's just the way that it is. So with that being said, everybody that has convinced themselves that Sony would never do this, they'll never do that. You said the same thing about crossplay. Look what happened.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, success has to mimic success on the market. And if this thing becomes big, Sony has it. They're going to have their answer. I'm going to shut up after I say this. I personally hope that their answer is like a Vita type thing, because I do want an option of a dedicated console just to ensure that the third party support is there. Everything Griggity said makes 100% sense. Most of these companies make their money off of their third party anyway, so Microsoft has to have something. I'm just a little bit more familiar and comfortable with the older model because I'm an old ass man. So that's just me. That's just me in my me and my feels. Okay, so that is what it is. But before we move on, anybody else got any other thoughts on that?
You pretty much said what I was just about to say as far as with the third party, as far as success in the business. I mean, I think that's bullshit to actually think that they're going to deny the opportunities for third party, considering that in the gaming field itself, third party is responsible for like legendary concepts in gaming. So I don't think that's possible that they would just say, no, we're not going to deal with third party. I'm sorry. That's bullshit. They're just testing us. Let's have fun. Let's watch it. Let's watch it evolve. Yep. Okay.
Yep. Any other thoughts, Griggity?
Nah.
No. Homie Feels Good says, he had a couple good comments. He said, Xbox is no longer the focus. Microsoft wants everybody to play everywhere. Sad to say this, but this is what the shareholders want. Any thoughts on that?
What did he say? Hold on, let me see what he said again.
He said Xbox is no longer meaning they're no longer just focused on the console. Microsoft wants everybody to play everywhere. Sad to say this, but this is what the shareholders want. And that is true. I mean, the fact that it's been exposed that, hey, there's 2.1 billion, people that you guys can reach now with your technology, the market has to go there. You guys need to pick up Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. And then I'm going to take it a step further. All right. I want you to pick up a book by an old guy like ourselves here. It's by Richard T. Kawasaki. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It tells you everything that you need to know about the current day market. One of the best financial books one of the best books you'll read in your whole fucking life, period. Next to Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. Okay, but read that book. Then you'll understand where MM2K is coming from. It relates actually to my career. And then you'll understand why when I've said things like this, that it's going to come to fruition, it has come to fruition. You know what I mean? Also, Feels Good says, everything will be streamed. The USA needs to get its internet together, and 5G needs to be deployed. You know what?
Yep.
All right, tinfoil hat time. Tinfoil hat. It's a new segment here. Tinfoil hat. All right.
I'm scared.
Look, I want y'all to pass the news around. Nature Boy. So he's a friend of the show. He's actually he's a host in the win. Nature Boy told me he used to be high up there in a company, a local internet company, that he exposed to me a while ago that actually all internet right now, whatever the highest level of internet or the highest speed of internet is anywhere, all internet, when the cables are put together, they start off at that speed. That the internet companies actually throttle the service, and it costs them money to do it because they're hoping that over time they can release little driblets at a time to charge you more money, and they'll make up for it and some. So in actuality, when they connect the cables, everybody should have T1. Okay, so the internet service that we have in the United States, if it's screwed up and messed up here, I'm not saying it's going to be as good as it is in Korea because there's certain geographical elements involved there. But it's a lot faster. It capably could be a lot faster than what it is now. They are purposefully throttling it. And if that's the case, that is the biggest scam in modern day history. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm sorry.
Hey, you know what's another scam? I know a guy that worked at a gas station, and he said those sons of bitches, excuse me, those sons of bitches put 89 gas, like the premium gas.
Yeah.
It was also 87, like regular gas was the premium gas.
Yeah.
Those sons of bitches. And he told me, I was like, what?
Right.
I was like, so people paying for premium, but they really getting regular.
They're really getting regular. And Get and Go it's like our version of Food Lion up here. They're like a grocery store, and they got like gas chains. There was a law released here, and they actually tell you, oh yeah, our 89 pumps are actually 87, but they're allowed to put 89 there. So if you don't go in and ask for the chart, you'll never know this. Like,
what? Damn, that's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big up to the homie Halo Storm. Halo Storm says, so what's going on? I've been at work all day and just got here. Thank you for joining us, Halo Storm. We appreciate it. All right. So, with that being said, I think we went over all the topics except one last one. Yeah, damn, we covered everything. Holy shit. All right. The last topic for today. Borderlands. PlayStation VR. All right, so it has been announced that Borderlands 2 is officially going to release a PlayStation VR version. It's going to have some extra elements to it. You know, I think an extra character or so, and maybe an extra level that they're going to add, but they've completely reworked it to work with PlayStation VR. I want to get everybody's thoughts on this. We'll start with you, Griggity, because I know you actually have a PlayStation VR. I want to get your thoughts on PlayStation VR altogether, and then get your thoughts on the possibility of, Borderlands coming. Are you a Borderlands fan or not? Or if you weren't, does this interest you at all?
I'm sorry, fellas. I never. I bought Borderlands 2. Didn't really realize it. It's more of a co-op game than a solo game. So I hated it. Took it back to GameStop and never thought about picking up a Borderlands game again. I did pick up the Telltale Borderlands game. I didn't get a chance to play that yet. But yeah, VR is it's okay. I mean, like I said before the show, it's okay. It's a pretty good experience. You know, your wife come down and say, hey, baby, look at this. That shit sweet, ain't it? Your kids like, oh, daddy, this is cool. And then after that wears off, it's sitting there. I don't really, like I said, I might pick up that Astro Bot game because it's getting such great reviews. But it's just an experience for me. It's a cool experience. But once you do it a couple times, you really don't want to go back to. Okay. I haven't played mine since around February. When I got it, I think I got it like early this year. Just haven't played it again. So Borderlands going to it, I can care less, me personally.
Wow. What about you? That's coming from somebody that has a system. Okay. Well, TRS, what are your thoughts then on the heels of that?
I thought Griggity was gonna say, you know what, your wife comes down, sees it's pretty cool, your kids come down, and next thing you know, you're like, get out. You know what I mean? I thought but I have to say also, Griggity, I feel very bad for you considering the first Borderlands you played was 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would have ruined me too, because the first one is fire.
Yes.
The second one is Yeah.
It's
And then
fun.
you said, and then you said for your second dose, it's the telltale. You're just gonna keep digging the dirt, just keep digging the feet in. It's like I do have an interest in two. I've had two on my hard drive for like a year now and haven't played it yet. But I'm going to. I saw like this little small snippet of the VR. I don't know if it could have been a stream of the old Borderlands 2. I don't know, but I was just looking at it, and it inspired me to want to play it because it kind of looked like, even though I know it doesn't, it looked like it felt like one. But I know for a fact, because of your mental scar debacle that you had with Borderlands 2, most, that's what kind of kept me from getting it. But when it came free, Freezing Wolf, man, I downloaded that on my hard drive. So I'm going to check it out just for the sake that it still kind of has that look. And, you know, claptrap dancing and stuff kind of got me going. He was beatboxing. So that kind of got me going. But, I'm not into the VR. Only because I haven't played it yet. I've been very skeptical about VR since Oculus Rift. Yep. So I'm kind of, but they may finally come out to where I like it, and I may end up getting it. I wanted to hear more about Griggity's experience with the VR. How real does it feel? Yeah, that's because I may end up getting into something like that if it feels real enough, or at least it reacts perfectly.
What's actually like what I found out that was pretty cool about VR? YouTube. If you go on your PlayStation, you go to YouTube, and if you're wearing a headset, they'll give you the option to go to YouTube VR videos, and some of them was pretty cool, man. But the quality is kind of blurry to me.
Okay.
And I have a PS4 Pro, but it's a little blurry. I believe if it was like in high def or 4K, it would be much better. Yeah. But like I would, like getting one of those roller coaster YouTube videos, and those things are kind of cool, to be honest with you. But it's just once you do them a few times, there's no need to really, do it.
Does it vibrate and stuff like that, or what?
No. Well, the controller, no, not a YouTube video, no, that.
Oh no, man, no, I wasn't trying to flirt or anything like that. Oh my! Does it vibrate?
The games, the controller might vibrate if you're holding the controller.
That move control. You're trying to tell me the move controller looks like a shaft with the herpes.
Oh, I didn't even get that one. I didn't even get those dildos. I didn't even get that one. I just got them on the camera, and the headset. I ain't got time for them dildos. Yeah. But it came with a Doom. Oh, okay. That's okay.
That's okay. You know what? Yeah. I've tried VR before. I don't know if you've tried it before, TRS. I've tried it on the Samsung headset that came on the phone.
It's very similar to that because I have that also. It's very similar to that.
What is that? What is that? Samsung what?
The Samsung Galaxy phones. Like there's a headset that comes with them, so you can put your phone in the headset and you can experience VR that way. It's a cool experience. It's different, but I don't think it's an experience yet where you'd be like, oh, I just got to have this for hours upon decades. You know what I mean? It's like, and then with that being, because there isn't that killer app yet, and then when you take it to the next level with the PlayStation VR or and not to just pick on the PlayStation VR, but the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive and all that other shit, like there's all these wires and shit connected to it, so you're restricted. I mean, you probably want to be restricted. Not for the reasons that our homie J Dub said. He said, man, if it wasn't for them cords on the PlayStation VR, you fall out the window. Hey, yo, he damage control everything PlayStation VR. Big up to J Dubs, man. Kratos, man. No, I mean, but you're too restricted with the wires. Even if you aren't restricted like with the Galaxy thing, it's different. It's unique, for the scary games. It's unique in like 5-10 minute doses, but I haven't experienced a killer app yet, but I was interested in Borderlands being on PlayStation VR. But here's the problem, Griggity. Why I think the final verdict is the whole panel just don't give a fuck about it. Look, Borderlands 2. This may sound crazy, but Borderlands 2 I think was their worst option.
Oh wow!
To do that because it's like you said, Borderlands 2. Doesn't become gameplay fun unless you have co-op in it. And even at that, it's not. Look, Borderlands 1 is godly. It's phenomenal. I had Borderlands 1.
I would suggest that.
Yeah, I stopped playing. I still suggest Borderlands. If you haven't played Borderlands 1,
I would suggest that big time.
I would still suggest it. It's one of the best games I've played in years. And I still play it here and there. I had it on everything from PlayStation 3 that I hardly played, Xbox 360. I had it on PC. I had it on multiple PC platforms, including Steam and whatever. I had it on live. That's what made me get on live, is that Borderlands was free with on live. So I got it on live. I love the first Borderlands. The second one, they tried to put a story behind it. The gameplay wasn't great. The loot system was just, it was too OP. It just didn't work right. If they would have put Borderlands 1 in VR and maybe remastered it a little bit.
Right.
Because you can play that single player and still enjoy the shit out of that. I think they would have done a lot better. And that's where they fucked up. That's Gearbox, and that's why I released that video. Borderlands 3 is going to be trash at me. So anyway, with that being said, did anybody else have any other thoughts on that?
Nah, not on that.
Okay.
I look forward to it. I look forward to the day that they actually have virtual reality on point the way that Oculus Rift preached that they were going to have it. I look forward to that, but unfortunately, I think I'll be in an old folks home by that time. Yeah. But it would have been nice. It's a dream.
The homie Halo Storm asked a couple questions. He says VR is kind of, he says VR is kind of niche, but I think VR could be successful in arcades like Dave and Buster's. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep, until they come out with that killer app. Halo Storm also says, is Borderlands backwards compatible? Yes, it is.
Yep.
It's backwards compatible everywhere. It's Borderlands. I want to say it was overlooked, but it really was. It's better than Borderlands 2. I'm sorry. Borderlands 1 has a story with Handsome Jack. Borderlands 2 has a story with Handsome Jack and his origins and all this other bullshit. And it takes away from the game. Borderlands 1 really doesn't have a story besides mayhem. That's Borderlands 1's story, is mayhem. And I love it. It's just because it doesn't tie itself down. It just takes you everywhere. It's a fantastic game. I love it.
It's on my list for one of the original God games. Yeah, so absolutely. I love it.
Absolutely. If I had to make a list of my top 25, maybe even my top 10, the last few generations, Borderlands would be there.
Yeah, the first one, definitely.
Yep. All right. With that being said, I think we're done, folks. I think we're done. So, we're going to go down the panel. I want to thank everybody for joining, but we're going to go down the panel, and we'll start with Griggity, what you plan on getting into, what you're excited about, watching, playing, whatever the case may be, and tell us where we can find some more of your material at, bro.
Well, I'm on YouTube. My name is Dirt Griggity. Dirt as in dirt on the ground. Griggity, Griggity. Please check my videos out. I'm 10 away from 500. I'm happy about that because my channel is dog shit. But just check it out anyway. I'm on Twitter at Griggity, and I'm actually kind of hyped for Call of Duty. Not because I'm a Call of Duty guy, because like my homie, he's a super duper casual. He's like, oh man, that Call of Duty look great. That Blackout mode looks great. So I'm definitely going to be playing that in a couple days, and that's about it, man. Oh, one quick thing. It's kind of late, so I don't want to really talk about it now, but we never really did talk about the Xbox. I know we mentioned it, the Xbox Cloud thing, but we didn't really.
Oh, shit, yeah.
We mentioned it, but we didn't really talk about it. So maybe.
Thing. Yeah, there's really not much to it. It's because we heard what Google's going to do. We got a lot more than Google, and basically all they said was that, what we already know, that they're going to allow the streaming service. They talked about how they're going to do it. They said, well, I've heard that they've dropped the latency from 80%, which is a big deal. And what they're basically doing is they're taking multiple games systems and putting them into slabs of servers. and they got a bunch of servers everywhere. That's all they said. So we know what's coming. Not a lot there, but definitely we could talk about it further.
The only thing I wanted to say, and it's gonna be really quick, trust, because it's kind of late. As a 42-year-old man that grew up in the 80s, born in the 70s, but grew up in the 80s, to see where the technology is right now is amazing to me.
Yeah.
And if in the future, if all the games are streaming, I don't give a damn. As long as I can still play these games, I might be in my 50s by this time. As long as I can play these games and they run well, I wouldn't care. Because some people have a very primitive way of thinking. Like, I got to have it traditional. How many things are still traditional, from movies to music? No, it's not a lot of stuff that's traditional.
It's like somebody pulls him into a warp zone or something.
It will cut out, man. Then I would have to shake my mouse or something. So anyway, that's all I want to say, man. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I don't fear the technology. I get some people's apprehensions, and like Griggity said, it's getting late. We're gonna cover that. Shameless plug. Become a Patreon member. Next Gen 720s. Patreon thing, man, we're going to have a great show. This is Pro Xbox, We'll talk about the good. Hopefully there's no bad, but if there is bad, we're going to have to bring it up. But, it's been a great week. So, check us out there, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. And then we'll follow up on Scram Punks next week, too. TRS Fusion Wolf. What's going on with you, bro? What you going to
Fortunately, since we're going to be closing up real quick, mine's is real short. All I can say is Destiny. Right now, I'm just playing. Everybody, the phone games I'm on, but the main thing is me just constantly farming on Destiny right now. There's so much content now. I'm just in a pool of Destiny love. You know what I mean? So there's so much content now. You guys really got to get into this.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do that too. Again, people know my status. I've lost my bet. So I got to be God of War. I'm getting there, man. I put another 2 hours into it, and I streamed it, and y'all saw it, man. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. But as soon as I finish that game, I am hopping. I'm swan diving on my Xbox. I'm going to break the motherfucker.
Would you be interested if it was co-op?
No, God of War co-op? No.
Yeah.
That wouldn't work. But, yeah, I'm going to get on Destiny. I'm going to get that. I'm also going to get Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And then I'm going to do this beta testing for this group, give you guys some information on that once the NDA allows me to do so. So, stay up with your boy. And lastly, what I want to say for myself is I might have to break my code. You see, I'm flapping in the air right now a receipt from GameStop. Why is that relevant? Because I wouldn't put $5 on a pre-order for Fallout 76. That beta is coming out soon, so public service announcement, go get your $5, put your $5 on your pre-order, go get your beta code for Fallout 76. Rumors are anywhere between now and the 18th when the custom console releases, you'll be able to play the beta, so get ready. And if I haven't beat God of War by then, I might have to break my, just for that. I'm sorry, people. But with that said, I want to thank everybody for coming out here, rocking with us. Dirk Griggity, TRS, and myself, MM2K, you know what I'm saying? Radio Raheem, a.k.a. Radio Raheem out here, you know what I mean? And we'll be doing it live again next Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. So with that being said, everybody, you have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day.
Peace.
Peace out.
Oh,
yes.